On that. Oh no! Look at this. Okay, so I gotta zoom in. Look at that. That doesn't look good at all. Look how that's leaning. So here, let's see if we get a... I think the workers are trying to get that fixed. Is there anybody still on there? It looks like their window cleaning apparatus there is severely leaning. Is that supposed to be like that? I don't think so. So, this might be a newsworthy event. I don't know. We see there's that bridge that's in the upright position there. It's a railroad bridge. This is the Salesforce tower. Yeah, there's people on that. Look at that. Let me zoom in here. So if you just joined, we're in Chicago. We're looking at the Salesforce tower. And that doesn't look like that's supposed to be like that. But it looks like they got it under control, and there's some safety guys down there. So I don't know what's going on with the window wire, that scaffolding. Yeah, they're taking pictures of it too. So here, let's see if we can get closer to see if I can get out of the wind, and maybe we can zoom in and see what's happening to this these workers that are precariously leaning to one side there on the side of the Salesforce tower. It's still too high. I wouldn't want to fall from that. At least they're not really high up. But maybe they want it like that. I don't know. It just seems like no one seems to be freaking out that it's like that. It just looks weird. But here you see where we're at here. We're the 150 North Riverside buildings behind us. There's the confluence of the... Yeah, you see that? So let's try to get closer. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. I always notice stuff. You know, there's no way I could anticipate that this was going on here, you know. Yeah, I hope nobody's hurt here. So I'm going to zoom in here. Let's zoom in here and see if we can see what's happening here. So what's that look like? What are they trying to get that fixed, or why is that leaning so much? But see, there's the pink lines heading across the Lake Street. There's a pleasure graph going by. This is the confluence of the north and south branches of the Chicago River. And we're looking at this window cleaning scaffolding that looks to be tilted at a 45-degree angle, and we can't figure out why. We just stumbled across this. There. Looks like the workers are okay. It's just leaning to one side. And maybe it's a equipment failure. That one guy's on the other side trying to bounce it. There's some guy in the window. Looks like that's a construction worker trying to help him out. So here comes a emergency. Let's see if this emergency responders are heading to this scene or not. They might have called the fire department. Yeah, I know. Hopefully nobody gets hurt here. We'll keep you posted here. We'll see what happens here. Let's zoom in here. So they're talking to each other. Yeah, here comes the cavalry, I think, here. So what are these guys doing down here? They're just looking at it. So the emergency first responders are trying to get across the bridge. Of course, there's traffic on the bridge here. So if you just join me in Chicago, here's the North Branch of the Chicago River. Here's the Salesforce Tower here, right at Wolf Point. Seems like there's some workers there that... Let me turn the chat back on here. Yeah, that's not supposed to be like that. And we'll stay posted here a little bit. We got 12:31 in the PM. Yeah, this is late breaking news. I'll be like, looks like they're jacking it up. Looks like they're making it straighter. So it's starting. The one side's starting to come up there. Hopefully, we can get this fixed. And they need to move more of those guys to the other side, but I think they're trying to get the one side level there. And yeah, there's other people filming it here too. Yeah, I know, it's scary. I know. I just happened to walk across it. I know. It's hard. That's why I guess that's what the emergency they're going. Yeah. Yeah. So they're trying to get it level. Let's see here. What are people saying here? Yeah, it's trying to right itself. They're trying to get it level. There's people at the bottom there that are, and I saw there's some people in the window there. It's a little better than it was. Believe it or not, it was leaning at almost a 45-degree level when we first stumbled across it. And there's the ambulance is right there. They can't get across the bridge because of traffic. And you see where we're at here. This is the green lines moving across the Lake Street Bridge there. We're in Chicago. This is the South Branch of Chicago River. There's the main channel there. There's the Salesforce. Look, oh, they're getting it level. They're getting it level. Look, that looks a lot better there. Yeah, looks like they got it fixed. So hey, the day was saved just in time for the, yeah, it's too windy for that to be, remember when we first came across it, it was leaning at 45 degrees. It was really leaning bad. And I was like, that doesn't look right at all. And all these, see, these guys are walking away, so that's a good sign. So, yeah, here comes the green line. And there goes the water taxi there. So, good. So crisis averted. Look, they got it back level. Pretty much so. The workers seem fine. But it looked pretty bad there for a second there. Remind me, wasn't there an old Chicago album? Wasn't there remember the band Chicago? Wasn't there a Chicago album where the painters were all like falling off the window washer thing? They're playing a billboard, and that's what it reminded me from. Especially since we're in Chicago, we could put the Chicago band music with that. Lovely spring day in Chicago. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. So they got it fixed. So we'll go back to filming the Calatrava statue. Hey, let's head to the Riverwalk. And thanks for being on for that. There's enough excitement for the day right there. Enough for me. I'm just glad you have that album. See, Julie, I didn't dream it up. I'm glad you remembered that. Yeah, it's the classic Chicago album with all the band members there on the front falling off the billboard scaffolding there. And yeah, I remember seeing that when I was a little kid. My aunts and uncles would have those albums, and I would look through the record collection, all the classic record collection, and I would run across one that would scare me. Like I would see like Black Sabbath, album. I'd be like having nightmares. Ozzy Osbourne, and then I'd see the Chicago. I'm like, who are these guys from Chicago? And I had no idea I would move to Chicago and live here for 26 years, when I was a kid. But there's the Merchandise Mart, the Salesforce Tower. They got it fixed here. Let's head over to the Riverwalk. There's the bottom of the 150 North Riverside here. We're going to cross Lake Street here. Thanks for tuning in. The Lunch Munch here for Scenes of Chicago. We got 67 degrees, 12:35 in the PM. Starting to feel like spring. We had some rain this morning. Yeah, see, look, by the time the fire truck gets there, they actually called the fire truck, but it's no longer, hopefully it's no longer needed. And that's a good problem to have. I'm sure the fire company's happy too. Like by the time they show up there, they don't even need to do a rescue. And how are you going to rescue from the riverside? I know they got fire boats, but I don't see many ladders on fire boats. But if there was a fire, they could put it out from the river side. They got the fire boat. Yeah, we sold our soul for rock and roll. I mean, it was a freaky band. I mean, people forget how, the authorities were really scared, and like, in the Black Sabbath, it was all tongue-in-cheek. They were meant to be shocking, just like Alice Cooper, but Black Sabbath sung about some really dark content in the early 70s, as we all know. And I remember when I was a kid, like I couldn't like read that well, and I remember I remember the Carlos Santana album, the first Santana album, and it was the one with the lion, and I had nightmares about that because I thought they were a Satanist band, but it was Santana because I was a little kid and I didn't realize that was the name of the Carlos Santana, the guitarist. And I was like, what is this about? But look at the beautiful shoreline sightseeing. We're talking about old record albums because we saw the scaffolding there. The guys were like hanging from the side there when we stumbled across it, but they got it fixed. So we'll just head along the Riverwalk here. And yeah, Christy, thanks for joining in there.